Hi viewers, I am Akansha. In this lecture I will explain Atmega 328P, its purpose, its features, the Arduino module, the pin configuration of MCU, programming methods, which programming language and software is used, how you can start with basic commands, memory types and significance concerning to Arduino and a different variant of Arduino. The purpose of using it is the low price of approx 400 Indian rupee. It is a microcontroller that can perform specific tasks like blinking LEDs. It can be connected to LM35 temperature sensor and heart pulse sensor. We can prototype this for any project. A prototype is the first step to understand the essential development cost. Now I am explaining the Atmega 328P MCU features. You should know terms like it belongs to which architecture, which type of instruction set it has, and clock frequency. So now it belongs to AVR family developed by Atmel. It is an 8-bit microcontroller, which means 8-bit that microcontroller process at once. Harvard Mark first proposed Harvard architecture. In this, separate memory space for instruction and data. I will illustrate later in this lecture about memory flash, SRAM, EEPROM. Microcontroller clock frequency means the speed at which the internal clock of microcontroller operates. This is built to minimize the instruction execution time by optimizing and limiting the number of instructions. In this, you can see the Arduino module. ADC converts an analog signal into digital one and gives it to the microcontroller, which has 6 input pins. It can take analog input, 10-bit resolution of 2 to the power 10, 1024 levels. Let's take an example. If actual input voltage is 0 volt, then the MCU ADC will read it as 0, and if it is 5 volt, the MCU will read 1024. And if it is somewhere in between, like 2.5 volt, then the MCU will read 512 levels. Pulse width modulation is a technique by which the width of the pulse is varied while keeping the frequency of the wave constant. It is a method for generating an analog signal using a digital source. There are 6 PWM pins in Arduino Uno which can control LED brightness. The term baud originates from French engineer Emile Baud. It refers to the number of signal or symbol changes that occur per second. Normally in Arduino we can take 9600, but we can change it according to the requirement. You can use USB with computer to burn code. You can connect Bluetooth module SC05 to pin 0 and 1 for serial communication. Let's talk about the pin configuration of Atmega 328P. A VCC and A reference is the supply voltage and analog reference for A to D converter respectively. PB6 and PB7 pins are the crystal oscillator pins. In SPI protocol, the devices are connected in a master and slave relationship in a multi-point interface. In this, the interface type, one device is considered the master of the bus, usually a microcontroller, and all the other devices, peripheral ICs or even other microcontrollers are considered slave. In this figure, the PB5, PB4, PB3 pins represent the serial clock, master input or slave output, and master output or slave input. There are ports B, C, and D, and their respective pins are shown. The timer pins are PB0, PB1, and PB2. And the PC0 to PC5 are 6 analog pins. There are two programming methods: serial programming through USB and ISP in system programming. A serial programmer is a device programmer that connects to your PC using serial port. An ISP is a device programmer that connects to AVR via the ISP pin. In serial, you will have seen begin used to start or enable serial. Serial.begin 9600 and connect to USB between the laptop and Arduino module. In IDE software, you can go tools, then you can select the programmer Arduino as ISP. The programming process uses VCC, ground, and 4 data pins. 3 pins connected to MISO, MOSI, and SCK between the programming micro and target micro. The 4th pin from the programming micro goes to reset pin of the target. In IDE, we have to write embedded C language, which is similar to C, but it is used to develop microcontroller based application. The IO hardware addressing, fixed point arithmetic operation, accessing address spaces, etc. are considered in this. We should install Arduino IDE with some easy steps to understand the concept. Let's open the software. We see 2 lines with brackets. In void setup, we write a statement we want to execute once. For example, serial begin 9600 and serial.println hello world. Let's check some basic commands. In the first command, the assigned integer value is 2. The pin 13 is assigned for digital output like an LED blink in the second command. The module has 6 input, so we read any sensor value by an analog read command. The Arduino Uno is the fundamental module with limited SRAM, EEPROM, and program memory specification. There are various variants like Mega, Nano, and Duo in market. Everyone knows RAM and ROM, but from the module perspective, static RAM stores runtime data like variables. It will work for 20 years. SRAM is organized into different sections: text, data, BSS, stack, and heap. EEPROM is an electrically erasable programmable ROM. The variables stored in the EEPROM are kept even when use reset or power off the Arduino. The EEPROM has finite life. In Arduino, the EEPROM is specified to handle 1 lakh write or erase cycle for each position. However, read are unlimited. Program memory is a subset of ROM. For example, when we compile any sketch, we create a binary file that is later stored in flash memory of Arduino board. The difference between these two is the EEPROM can be managed at the byte level, write or erased, while flash can be managed at block level. SD card can be connected to Arduino, but we can't increase the SRAM of the Arduino, which is 2K. To purchase or select any module, we understand the specification first. Arduino Uno, Mega, and Nano have AVR family hardware architecture with no DAC, flash, EEPROM, SRAM, and number of input pins can be seen in this slide. DO belongs to ARM Cortex M3 with 96 KB SRAM, 512 KB flash, clock frequency 84 MHz and DAC and ADC. Thank you.